Hello everybody, Iain Robson here, and welcome to another edition of Texas. Alright, we're doing what's going on today. I realized why I hadn't seeded number 14, field number 14 yet. Because apparently there's still straw bales on it. So we're going to go ahead and get those straw bales off of there. And we will go from there. It's kind of funny actually, I didn't realize we hadn't taken them off, but I guess we had. As you can see, I have the John Deere 6810. It's currently doing the silage for us at the moment because I needed this tractor for the auto stacker. I think the 6810 might be able to use this, but I'm not certain. So that's why I thought I would just switch it over. I know he can use that trailer there, so it wasn't a big deal. So it seemed like a better thing to do. That was a kind of funny sound. Jeez. So that's why we're on this guy right here. Hopefully. I don't know why I said hopefully. I thought I was going to say something like, hopefully he'll have enough horsepower, but I'm like, nope, I know he does, so it's not a big deal. Oh well. Yeah, so I guess that's the reason why I hadn't seeded field number 14 yet, was because there are still straw bales on it. I guess what happened was I started doing the straw bales and I just must have walked away from it or something. I don't know. It's kind of funny. Let's see. I guess we don't need that. Could start anywhere. I don't know how many bales this is though. This is actually a lot more than I thought it was. It's one of those situations where you don't realize how many bales there are until you get out in the field and actually look. But there are quite a few here. I think maybe, I don't know for sure, but I'm guessing maybe 80 bales, something like that. Which would actually be quite a few bales. Like, for big squares, too, that would be a ridiculous amount of bales, actually, if you think about it. Like, excuse me, 80 big square bales would be, I don't know, if each one weighs like 1,500 pounds, you do the math, I guess. 1,500 pounds, 80 bales, it's a lot of weight. Well, it's funny though, because I think the price of straw right now is actually higher than it's been in a while. So people who are selling straw are probably doing all right, I guess. Straw's not really worth a whole lot in comparison to hay, but if you compare it to other things, it's better than nothing, I guess. But one of the things, of course, one of the things you always need to consider is if you're taking the straw off the field, you ask yourself, what are you putting back on the field? Like, different people do it different ways. Some people might put certain products on the field that will help to bring back that certain nutrient that's in the field, right? So for example, if you took, just as an example, if you took potassium off the field, you could replace that potassium with potash, I think it's called. Potash, I want to say it. I know there's a lot of that out east, so. Or out west, wrong direction. But that's what they would put on the field, for example, so. But that's just one scenario. I don't think they would actually need to put, I don't think straw actually has potassium in it. Well, not a significant amount of potassium, but one of the things it does do, unfortunately, is if you bale the straw up, like we've done here, is you basically leave the ground a little bit bare, so it's more likely to have like erosion, for example. So sometimes people will prefer to spray the straw back on or chop the straw back up and put it back on the field, because if they do that, then they'll be able to cover up the ground a little bit, put that material back in the ground. I know Peter Johnson would say something like, keep the organic matter in the ground, sort of thing, so that's definitely one consideration. Like, whenever you're baling straw specifically, you're taking something off the field. Same with hay, I guess, really. You're taking something off the field, so you always got to think about how you're going to put back nutrients back into the field as well, right? It's all about a balance, because if you just take it out and don't put it back, eventually you're going to get crummy straw, and you're not going to get much of a yield off the crop you put down there anyways, so these are important things. A little tiny bit was missed. Yeah, so like that's always a consideration. I'm not an expert by a long shot, but I just know what is it? Newton's law of what is it? Newton's law. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So in this case, because you're taking something off the field, something is going to happen because of that. Just a question of what. The parking brake on there. So you always got to take those kind of things into consideration when you're baling or, well, taking straw off the field. And the same thing goes for other things as well. Like I was mentioning about organic matter there. And one of the things with organic matter is the fact that if you don't have enough of it in the ground, you'll have a lot of erosion, right? And if you have a lot of erosion, then you're going to lose some of the nutrients in the soil and whatnot. So it's important to consider those types of things. So for example, it's one of the reasons why a lot of people are going no-till, is to leave that organic matter in the ground, because if they leave the organic matter in the ground, then it's less likely to erode, and you won't find your dirt all over your neighbor's property, so to speak. It's only one part of it though, right? Farming's so complex, it's crazy. Like, when you look at the whole greater scheme of things, farming is very, very in-depth. Like, it's not just as easy as planting and harvesting. There's a whole bunch of steps in between there. Like, one of the things that doesn't get talked about a lot, if you're not a farmer, is something like marketing. For example, I just saw on Twitter before I started recording this, was that one of the guys I follow on Twitter, he just finished a soybean report for 2015 to see where soybeans were going. And it's been an interesting year because I think they were expecting a higher yield than they actually got. So because they were expecting a higher yield, the price of soybean actually went down. So, as opposed to going up. So like if there's a really bad soybean crop, the price goes up because there's not as many soybeans. It's supply and demand basically, right? But a lot of farmers don't necessarily take. They should. Let's say that. I don't know. Some do, some don't. Some don't do forward contracting, for example, for whatever reason. Some do. It really depends on the scenario. Like, you almost can't afford not to do that these days because, like, for example, the price you could set a contract for right now is not going to be the same price you're going to set a contract for, you know, in 6 months' time when things are planted. Well, at least some of the stuff, not everything. At least in Ontario. It's different everywhere else. I know in some other places they're probably harvesting still, for all I know. Like Brazil, maybe some of the hotter countries, but right now in Canada and Ontario we have 20 centimeters of snow or 15 centimeters of snow, whatever. So not much farming is being done unless you have livestock. That's for sure. But a lot of farmers should, I should say, go to different things in the winter to educate themselves. You know, keep on top of these types of things so they can implement some new strategies or try some strategies out in the upcoming year. I know some farmers do that. They go to, I think they call them workshops or stuff like that. So they go to a workshop and learn about, you know, for example, no tillage, or they learn about pest control or weed control, whatever it happens to be, or new strategies related to something. And that's what farmers should do. You know, it's like any kind of job. It's a continual learning. It's like when you're a teacher, you always have to learn and adapt your strategy to teaching new students different ways, stuff like that. Same thing applies to farming, right? You can't always do the same thing in farming because it's not necessarily the best thing to do for the land. So, for example, a lot of farmers do moldboard plowing, which you don't necessarily need to do all the time. If you try and reduce moldboard plowing, it's better for the soil itself. But some farmers just continue to do it because that's what they've always done. And I don't say it's a bad thing. Like, this is my opinion. What really should be done in that regards, at least. Like I say, I'm not a farmer, not an expert, not by a long shot. But if someone is, let's say, continually moldboard plowing and doing that kind of style, what they should do really is test the land itself, or test the soil, I should say, and see, like, measure the organic matter that's in the soil and all the nutrients, and see if they're losing nutrients or gaining nutrients. because that is like one of the only ways you can really be sure as to what's going on in your soils if you test it, obviously. So that's one little thing, but also take a look at the yield. So like here, this is my thought on things. Like, let's say you moldboard plow and you've always done that. Great, that's fine, but maybe take a small little test strip and try something a bit different and see what the results are, and test it out for yourself. Because a lot of times it's difficult to convince somebody something new because that's what they've always done, right? So it's like if you've always moldboard plowed and you're like, oh, this is the only way to do it, and you never try anything else, well, how do you know that nothing else is going to work, right? Same thing applies to any kind of thing, scenario though, right? So, for example, modding. If you've never tried modding, you don't know if you can do it. So if you don't try it, you'll never know, basically. I don't know. I don't know if it's where the expression came from, but it's this one comes to mind. Don't knock it until you try it. I think it's the expression that comes to mind. Basically, just means, you know, unless you try something first, don't say you can't do it or it's not worth doing, sort of thing. Once you've tested it out and tried it for yourself, that's a different scenario, mind you, and you say, hey, it doesn't work for my style, that's different. But if you just blindly say, oh, it's not worth it, well, recipe for disaster sometimes. Not always, of course, but it applies to many different scenarios. So, anyways, that's enough of that. Jeez. I'm strangely reminded of that time I talked about, what is it, neonicotinoids, and how the Ontario government wants to change neonicotide use, and how it's going to affect farmers, and they're basically doing it for political reasons, not for environmental reasons. Oh, that annoys me too. 1 second, just grab a sip of coffee. Oh man. Stranger things have happened, I suppose. There's always a government out there trying to do something, whether it's the best thing for farmers or the best thing for teachers or lawyers, whatever it happens to be. They're trying to make it a better place, I guess. Doesn't always seem that way, though. Let's check on this guy. How is our John Deere doing? There we go. Oh, that's why. I was like, why is such a huge lag? It was the lights. The lights always are the worst. He's doing alright then. The lights in the Chrome look pretty good, actually. It's interesting how they changed how it has like a little sparkle to it now. Before it used to be just like a, I don't know, just like a white circle. That was all it was. But now they add like a little kind of sparkle effect, sort of. I don't know what you call it. Looks like a star a bit more, like it would in real life. So see how it's shining out of there? I don't know. That's what I'm referring to. But before it used to be just like a circle of white, and that was just the light. I don't know. The truck. No, I don't think the truck actually has that like that. No, it's the new style as well. That's cool how you have like the high beams there. Anyways, so they're still doing well. Good. All right. So, totally changing subjects now. So do you guys like the live streams like once a week? Would you guys, I should say, would you like to see live streams once a week? Something like that. See, I should be able to do once a week or something along those lines so we can interact a bit more in a live scenario. So if that's something you'd like to see, let me know in the comments. I'll do my best to try and get one live stream out a week. I can't live stream for very long. And I probably can't live stream all the time because my internet likes to cut out every now and then. That's one of the reasons why I do YouTube over Twitch, because A, I don't have to talk for hours, and B, my internet likes to cut out, so there we go. So let me know if that's something you guys would like to see. If you guys would like to see more live streams, let me know. They probably won't be like short 2-hour ones, something along those lines, just because that's a bit more manageable for me at the moment. Once I get used to it a bit more, maybe I'll do some longer ones, but for the time being, I think 2 to 3 hours is a good time range for me, at least. So also someone asked the other day, During the live stream I did the other day, someone actually said you should do. Where am I here? You should do a Euro Trucker on your channel as well. So if Euro Trucker is something you'd like to see, I do have that game now, and I'm enjoying it. So if that's something you'd like to see, I could do put an episode or two of Euro Trucker up every now and then. Euro Truck Simulator 2. I don't know why I'm calling it Euro Trucker, but if that's something you'd like to see, let me know. I could easily do that now. I haven't recorded much of it, but can't imagine it'd be that difficult in comparison to any other game. So if that's something you'd like to see, let me know. I've been throwing up some screenshots actually on Twitter the last few days. Not a lot of screenshots. Not as many as Farmer Beavis, that is. If he's watching. I've been throwing up a few screenshots of the truck I'm driving on Twitter. Throwing the pictures up on Twitter, the screenshots of the truck I'm driving. Right now, in the game, like I said before, I'm driving a 389 Peterbilt. It's pretty sweet, actually. It definitely makes the game a lot more difficult because the truck I'm driving is longer than the European-style trucks. It's got a sleeper cab on it, so it makes everything more difficult. Which is kind of fun on the same note, but fun and scary all at the same time. So if I try to do any kind of like the fragile jobs in the game, it's terrible. Actually, I watched TCDG Rob did a video the other day on Euro Truck. I guess people were asking for it on his Facebook, I guess. I don't know, I don't really do the Facebook thing. Some people live by it, but I don't know, I don't enjoy Facebook as much as Twitter for whatever reason. I think if you actually hear little ding sounds in the background, I think that's my Twitter. I guess somebody is tweeting at me and I forgot to close that window, but oh well. Too late now. There we go. So we're making a little bit of money from the straw. I think we have. Let's go check to see how much straw we actually have here. I'm pretty sure we have more than enough for the number of cows we have, because I think I kept a load of straw last time and we haven't gone through all of that yet. How are the cows doing anyways? Not too bad. Let's come over here. Oh yeah, we got lots and lots of straw. 10 cows, and that's how much straw we have. More than enough. Let's go check the quality quickly here. Still good. Still good. Excellent. So this building, I guess, does work well. Perfect. And these are still good, I guess. Perfect. Good to see. Good to see. 1700, 1700, 1700. Perfect. Means they're staying well. I wasn't sure about that. We could actually give them silage. What we should do, now that I think about it, is that we should cover up that one bunker that we have over there. Because we haven't done any of that yet, so... Yeah, like I was saying, TCGG Rob did a quick little video of him pulling a train, I think actually it was. Let's just leave this here out of the way for the time being. He did a quick video of him pulling a train. I think it was the Jazzy Cat train, which is like an 80-ton train. And he pulled it with his 2,000 horsepower Volvo or something like that. Oh, we need this up here. Oh, perfect. This only holds 300,000? Thought it held more than that. Guess not. I don't think we can toggle any more additional weight. Yeah, so he did that, and it was actually kind of fun to watch because he plays it in a very, very different style. He basically goes, say he drives like 100 kilometers an hour everywhere, basically, or drives really fast everywhere at a reckless speed. But he's pretty good at it, actually. I try not to drive like that all the time. I just, once in a while, if I'm late for a job, I might do that in the game, but not often, so. Here we go. But it was interesting to see. I think he had some sort of Volvo, I want to say it was. It's not my style personally, but I don't know, for some reason, as soon as I realized I could get like American-style trucks, that was the first thing I did. Actually, American Truck Simulator is supposed to come out soon too, actually. Or, well, soon is a relative term. Apparently they've been talking about it for a while, so it'll be interesting to see how much, or not how much, but how long it takes before it actually comes out. I know some people were thinking about maybe first quarter of 2015, so the next 3 or 4 months, basically. So it's possible. Not a guarantee, mind you, not by any stretch of the imagination. As far as I understand, I'm fairly new to SCS, but as far as I understand, they wait until like something's 100% ready before they release it, which is good to know, actually. So they do a really good job of finalizing products before releasing them, which is something that not every company does. Sometimes you run into a situation where they release a product just to get it out on time, and it's not it actually suffers because of it. Because what happens is they're like, well, let's get this out because it'll be out, and then you have like 40 patches after that. You're better off just, keeping it in beta and continually testing it before you release it. Let's put the differential lock on here. So, I don't know, this is my opinion at least. I've played one too many games where they released a patch and the patch didn't fix everything and it made it worse sometimes. Oh, there we go. Blankets. Perfect. So we're going to have more than enough silage there. We should be able to actually sell some of the silage too, if we want to. Actually, will we be able to? I don't know. I will need to buy the BGA for that to work, actually, now that I think about it. Because I have the BGA extension installed, you can't just go up and sell stuff without buying it. I don't think, at least. I'd have to look into that, to be honest with you. I'm pretty sure you can't, though. But yeah, so like I said, sorry. Yeah, my mind went off to a different direction there for a second. I was like, oh yeah. So if you guys would like to see Euro Truck, let me know. I don't mind putting it on the channel. Probably won't be the focus, but I am getting into it a little bit, which is kind of funny. John Deere's in traffic. So we shall see. Alright, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to set this guy up with courseplay, and should work fine with 2.5. We're going to see how this works, but just to show you, some people are probably going to ask this question, just to show you that you can indeed set this up so it does work with courseplay as well. The funny thing, I think I've showed this to you guys already, but the funny thing is, if you do this, you can set it up so it unloads in the field, and unloads in the field, or it's you can do it manually as well. Yeah, there it is. Unload in the field automatically, or unload manually. So I have it set unloaded manually, because right now, if I have it set up to automatically unload in the field, what it'll do is just create enormous piles. Actually, let's just try that out, see what it looks like. I am kind of curious. And I probably don't need to start over here. Probably start it over here somewhere. There we go. Actually, this is probably a bit easier way to do it. There we go. Alright, let's go in the other direction then. Come up over here. So yeah, that's kind of the funny thing about this. Like, you can have it set up so it just drops all the bales in the field and continues on, which is useful, I guess. I don't know. Because I have the bale extension mod, it's not really useful for me, but if I didn't have it, it would be an interesting way. Oh, I guess we do this way. Sweet. It would be an interesting way of seeing how things work. Start and end. So here we go. This should be interesting. One of the things I really like about the way they set this up is when it picks up the bales, it'll pick up two. I'll just hop back into here. It'll pick up 2 bales, and then it'll stop when the table goes up. Because what will happen is if that table hasn't gone up, it'll just stay there and it won't do anything. Well, the bale won't be able to be picked up, which is the cool thing. So it anticipates that, so you can do it like that. So I thought that was pretty nifty. Cool. Yeah, but you can use it with courseplay, like I just showed you basically. Right now I just have it set up so he uses the same course as the combine, and I have it set up so it's an offset basically. Alright, folks, I think that'll be it for today. Did a lot of bale handling this episode, so I think we'll sell the rest of those bales because we still have tons and tons and tons of straw for our 10 cows. And that'll be it for today. My name's Iain Robson. Has been Farming Simulator 2015, coming at you from Texas. Catch you guys later.